Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game 2 in a series between Adeth versus FXO's mOOnGLaDe here on Shattered Temple. I believe this was taken from the Electronic Sports League game 2 in a series, and we'll see what goes down this time around. It is going to be on Shattered Temple, so it's not going to be as large of a macro map by any stretch of the imagination. Shattered Temple much smaller. You're pretty much deposited into the center of the field much more quickly, and then you are also able to get in a lot more damage and try to rush your opponent. We may see some 2-base play or even 1-base play on a map like this. Adeth spawning at the 9 o'clock location as the blue Terran player. Meanwhile, the Zerg player spawning here at the 3 o'clock location. mOOnGLaDe. We'll see what he tries to go for. mOOnGLaDe really changing up his strategies from the last time I've seen him. He didn't really power drone. He didn't play Zerg as I would say 80% or 90% of the Zerg players now normally play Zerg on the ladder, where you try to power drone very early and then take that and ride that economic wave to a victory in the end. Instead, he had very little drones. He did set up a hatchery at his expansion, but he turned that more into a macro hatch with only one drone mining away. With only one drone mining away, he was able to put down a lot of pressure, catch a lot of those Marines in transit as they were walking over, and then essentially just shut them down. Shut them down one at a time, and then when the opportunity was just right, he then decided to start power droning, and then taking a very strong economic lead. Adeth did try to go for an all-in attempt, but that all-in attempt did not work, as mOOnGLaDe now takes a 1-0 lead in this series so far, as an SCV now making its way across the map. You can see that Glade now trying to push himself up forward. It looks like he will be able to get up that ramp rather quickly. The supply depot was placed down, and it will end up delaying the command center. So a little bit of a misplay there, I would assume, by Adeth, getting that command center, getting that supply depot before that command center. There's no way that you could really trap the drone on the inside at all, or trap the drone on the outside. So you pretty much might as well try to upgrade that orbital command, get that mule a little bit earlier, and then get a stronger economic lead into the mid game. We'll see how that all works out for him. We should be seeing a factory now come in sometime soon, as a second Marine is currently being trained. That drone doing that extractor trick over and over and over again. Meanwhile, back in the base here, you can see Glade does have an SCV hanging around by this hatchery. It looks like the SCV going to get some artificial or superficial damage onto that hatchery there. A queen may get trained as drones are now being transferred over. One queen is being queued up as well, as we are now going into reactor Hellion play. So it is going to be reactor Hellion play. 2 Marines quickly finishing off that drone there, as Adeth may transition from Reactor Hellion play into perhaps Banshees. That is a very common strategy, as Glade now tries to move in with this Overlord, perhaps park itself right here, a perfect position to be able to spot whether or not Command Center is built here to be lifted off and landed there. SCV now running away from those Zerglings. It looks like as long as he doesn't stop, he stops at the Xel'Naga Watchtower, gonna get taken down, as Glade gets a free SCV in the middle of the field. Double Hellions off of a reactor currently being trained up, as Adeth looking to perhaps get some damage in with these early Hellions. Early Hellions do deal a fair amount of damage, but Glade does have 1 spine crawler, so that will be important to note. 1 spine crawler dealing a lot of damage, as those Hellions are now going to be rolling out. 2 Hellions already out in play, as we are now transitioning into mass marauders or mass Marines. This is definitely not what I was expecting. So it is going to be double Hellions into early or more Marine Marauder play. There is no starport to be seen. And this is all because we're running off of 1 gas. So this may be a very, very weird attempt. As you can see, the Hellions are now simply just going to drive by. Was able to get some damage onto those Zerglings. The Zerglings now getting picked apart a little bit time after time. But the Spine Crawlers, 2 of them on the front door, dealing 25 damage per impale. Hellions do not have that much life. Even though they are not armored, they still take 4 hits to get destroyed, I believe. Yeah, 4 hits to get destroyed, as opposed to just 3, but the Zerglings should be able to clean them up. We are now still training more Hellions, getting some Marauders as well. So 2 more Hellions once again being added. We are taking the tier 2, so Glade now playing a much more standard style this time around. You can see his economy sitting on 25 drones. Zerglings are down on the low field as well. We are getting an evolution chamber here. So this will essentially prevent any of the Hellions to try to sneak around this side, having to cross in between two spine crawlers. And by two spine crawlers, that's 50 damage, half the life of a Hellion. So those Hellions are not going to be able to really make it through. No blue flame research. Zerglings will be able to perhaps stop them, and oh, there goes one poor Zergling there. In comes those the spine crawlers. The Hellions quickly spot the evolution chamber, realizes that it can't pass through there, and Adeth is now the one with a very large army, but unable to really do anything about it. So what, 600 minerals here, and really unable to do anything at all, and no command center. So with no additional command center, he is not going to be able to really transition into the strategy that I would have liked to have seen. We are getting a lot of Marauders and Marines now, and the SCVs now perhaps going for an all-in attempt. So yeah, this is another all-in attempt. SCVs do have a decent amount of hit points, 45 hit points there, as the spine crawlers are looking to perhaps just fight back, and now 450 versus 1750, and this all-in may actually work. There is a lot of DPS behind it, Marauders and Marines, but it will really come down to whether or not there is enough Marines in this group, as the Marauders and Hellions now pushing forward. SCVs now rolling in as well. Down goes one spine crawler, down goes a queen. Another spine crawler will get taken down. There is only 3 Marines in this group, though, as we are soon going to be getting 5, perhaps even 6 Mutalisks. This hatchery will quickly fall, as with no missile turrets and now more Marines being trained. This is going to be a definite issue here. You can you can see what's happening. The Marauders are now pushing their way in. The Hellions are going to get in a lot of damage as well. The Queen now trying to get in some damage, but that is not going to work out very well at all. As you can see, the Mutalisks are about to hatch, and now going after the layer. The layer is already at half-life. It looks like it will get taken down. SCVs are now in transition, trying to pull away, and Glade does not have enough minerals to rebuild his hatchery. So it is going to be these five Mutalisks in the air, and that is it. And by doing that all in, he was actually able to get in a lot of damage. All the SCVs were now returning home. And wow, what a crazy play there. The engineering bay 30 or 20 seconds away from being completed, and then another 25 seconds for a missile turret. The Mutalisks would have taken a little bit of time to even make it that far across the map. There are some Marines, 3 Marines there, 6 Marines total. With Stim, it could have been able to fend off all of those Mutalisks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this crazy all-in by Adeth here on Shattered Temple.